Hey guys, so first things first, here is my flamingo. She still has well, it's still drying right here, but I don't think her neck's ever going to get really stiff because my error was this whole chunk. If you'll look back at that video when I was doing the plaster, I had a big roll at the end, like a big wad, and I just left it for the neck. It was way too much. I should have just put, you know, a roll, just thin. So it's got a lot of weight on the top. So she's kind of a motion activated. But anyway, also I want her legs to stay like this, like she's running. So I haven't decided yet. If y'all have some good ideas, leave me a clue in the comments. But I was thinking, I've got some round pieces of wood. They're like for making signs. I was thinking about gluing one under each foot, like maybe painting them and gluing them. I'm not in love with that idea. I also thought about taking one of the big branches I have that looks like driftwood and putting her on top of that. But for right now, I'm just gonna set her aside because I'm tired of looking at her for the moment, and I can't come up with a good plan. But I like how the material came out on her. You can't, let me see how it had this pattern on the bottom of the dress, so that showed up good. I like how her feet came a little bit plain white and some tie-dye. I like how she looks like she has little webbed feet. But anyway, the things I like about her, she's not going in the trash. She might go to someone else. I'm not sure if she's going to stay at my house. She belongs here because I've got a lot of flamingos. We'll see. I'm going to put her aside for now. So for today, we're going to try, I made a little bowl. And we're going to try strips of cloth with some plaster of Paris. I'm going to mix some up and dip the cloth in there and put it on. I had thought about this really thin cloth, you know, part of the dress. But I feel like it needs thicker cloth so it'll be sturdy. So I'm going to try to make it something useful while I'm checking to see if the plaster of Paris will work with cloth dipped in it and placed over chicken wire. So that's our goal for today, to see how that works. I'm telling you, I'm really having fun playing with the chicken wire. And this is, I've got one little piece left because I've been giving it away here and there. And so I might have to buy some more. I really want to make a big flamingo, like maybe 3 or 4 feet tall. Maybe not that tall, maybe a couple feet tall. And then spray paint her hot pink. So like the flamingo I already made, but without the plaster, spray paint it hot pink and stick it out in my flowers. So maybe for next year. But anyway, the chicken wire's been a lot of fun. So here we go. Let's get started on this little bowl and see how it works out. I cut a bunch of strips from a cotton pillowcase to start off with. Now I'm just measuring and mixing the plaster of Paris and water. It's 2 parts plaster of Paris, 1 part of water. Then dipping the strips, wiping the bulk of it off, and placing them on my bowl. And I'm going to put them in every direction, overlapping, until I get the whole thing completed. And because I'm using so much, it's going to take like 2 hours for this thing to dry. Okay, so I let what I got done dry, and so far I can tell you this is very strong and sturdy. Of course, it probably would shatter if I would strike it hard. But it's got the cloth and it has the wire to help it. It did take much longer to dry than the rigid wrap. This said it was like 10 minutes, but of course that wasn't accounting for the cloth. So I have the cotton strips from a pillowcase, and they were layered. I don't know, maybe 4 layers. I wasn't keeping track. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap the inside. I kind of think it's cute like this if I finished the outside edge and left it. But I think I want to go ahead and put a layer on the inside, make it a regular proper bowl. But you could do it like this and leave the inside, or put cloth inside and have it go over the edge, you know. Or you could not do this at all. It pretty much was an experiment, but I think I'm going to go ahead and make up another batch of the plaster of Paris, do the inside, maybe spray paint it. I'm fixing to do another batch and do the inside of it. Now you could see me doing it. It was a lot more work, dipping it and getting all the excess off and all of that. It made a big mess here on my little work area, but it does clean off easily with hot soapy water. So you just have to decide for yourself. I really liked the rigid wrap, but then I don't hate this. Like I said, it's more work, took a lot longer to dry, but then that could be helpful so you're not pressed. The rigid wrap, you had to put 1 or 2 pieces at a time in the water. If you put a cup, 3 or 4, and you got busy working on a piece, it would harden. It would just get stiff. Whereas this, I had plenty of time to work. All right, guys, so I have finished my bowl inside and out. And what I want to tell you is this thing is solid. It's heavy. And it feels like it's pretty sturdy. So the difference between this and the rigid wrap, this took much longer to dry. It made a bigger mess. But the rigid wrap is more expensive than using the plaster of Paris. This is a much smaller item, obviously, than the flamingo. But this only took... I made two recipes, and each one used a cup, because I was using a half-cup measuring cup. So each one used a cup. So I've used 2 cups of the plaster of Paris for this bowl. I feel like I could throw it down. Of course, remember I have the chicken wire inside, which is helping to reinforce it. But I feel like I could throw it down, and I'm hitting it hard. It's solid. So I believe I would use this again in the future, but I also believe I'd use the rigid wrap. They just both have different applications. But this plaster of Paris with the cloth, instead of newspaper like you would usually do for paper mache, makes a solid, substantial piece. Like, you could hurt somebody with this. It's an ounce away from a pound for this little bowl. So now we know that does work. Someone else might have already known it. I didn't know it, so now I do. The directions say to sand it, if you want a smooth surface. I'm leaving it like this rugged look. I wanted it like this. Then I just sprayed some little spots of pink, because I'm going to put, this is some real barnacle coral that I've painted some little sections different colors, and I've been looking for something to use it for. It's going to go on the edge of this bowl. I also sprayed it with the Rust-Oleum triple glaze. So I'm not trying to make it waterproof, but I do want to make it where I can wipe it with a damp cloth. But you might be able to make it waterproof. There's waterproofing stuff that you could use, and you could sand and make it really smooth and pretty and all that. Or you could just use the rigid wrap. because I saw that the rigid wrap, especially if you put extra water and smoothed those bubbles out, I mean the little holes, put a lot of water on there and then they would get smooth. It was really easy to smooth that out compared to this. So, but I think both are good options. I like this way better than newspaper or paper mache, this cloth. And of course I have chicken wire in here too. But you probably could do it without the chicken wire and just the cloth, because it hardens so well and the cloth gives it stability. And earlier when I had just the chicken wire in the center, it even felt really strong and sturdy. So that's my video for today. As far as the Christmas crafts, as of today, it's less than half of the people gave it a thumbs up for getting the Christmas crafts. So I think people are trying to get through. Kids are going back to school. We got Halloween coming up. We got Thanksgiving after that. People don't like to be inundated with all that so early. So I'm going to wait. I'm still making my Christmas crafts. Trust me, because I'm overflowing with ideas. But I'm just going to wait and start putting them up in October, and then I'll put them up, you know, space them out depending on how many I get done, and we can get busy on Christmas in October. Until then, I'm going to keep doing just other random videos like I always do. So that's it for today. See you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.